Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Hagee and this is my video presentation for the comparative analysis of the grappling hook mechanic taken from the games Metroid Prime and Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. Aside from the obvious difference in player perspectives, one being a third-person adventure game and the other being a first-person shooter, the mechanic in question operates in vastly different ways for each game. In Metroid Prime, the mechanic is embodied in the grappling beam. This ability is automatically actuated when the player locks onto an appropriate object in the game world. The lock-on ability is bound to the left trigger button of the GameCube controller. As you can see, the player has entered an area with objects that can be targeted with the grappling beam. This is the first instance in the game where the player has the opportunity to use and experiment with this ability. The exact distance required to be able to grapple is uncertain, but appears to be approximately 30 to 40 feet from the player. While in the air, the player can use the lock-on ability to grab another grappling point without hitting the ground. In addition to being able to Tarzan-style swing from one point to the next, the player is afforded additional control by being able to change direction while swinging. This design choice was probably made to increase player agency, as well as to create an opportunity for the designers to design more complex setups. And with that, we move on to The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, and its own unique grappling system which takes the form of a grappling hook and rope. First noticeable difference we can see is that the grappling mode is not always available to the player, but rather when the item is used, the player enters a first-person grappling mode. When the center of the red dot passes over an object which is both in range and can be grappled, the reticle changes to a yellow starburst pattern to indicate to the player when this action will be successful. A core feature of the grappling system in Wind Waker that differentiates itself from Metroid Prime is the ability that allows the player to both climb up and slide down the rope when the player is not swinging. When the player wishes to start swinging again, they simply use the forward and backward controls on the joystick to build up momentum. It is important to note that just like in Metroid Prime, the player can change directions while grappling. However, in the Wind Waker, the player must stop swinging before that can happen. In Metroid Prime, the player cannot stop their momentum by any means other than letting go. When the player is facing the desired direction and has built up enough speed, they use the A button on the controller to release and land in the desired location. Another way in which the Wind Waker differentiates itself from Metroid Prime is the ability to use the grappling hook as a weapon. Here we see the grappling hook destroying the iconic clay pots found in most Zelda games. The weapon usage is extended to specific monster types as well. The lava centipede seen here can be stunned when the player locks onto its eye and hits it with a grappling hook. And finally, here we see another more interesting use of the grappling hook. In addition to attacking, the grappling hook extracts items from the enemy and returns them to the player's inventory. It is important to note that these attacks do not kill the monster, but rather pilfers from and stuns them. This concludes my presentation. Thank you all for watching.